Good morning, period three. Well, at least I hope it is the morning, which is when our class meets. So I hope you are watching this in the morning. So, as you have probably noticed, we have doing quite the bit of research on William Shakespeare about the Elizabethan era, all leading up and preparing for our reading of Romeo and Juliet. Now, some of us, well, most of us, should at least know some things about our play, Romeo and Juliet, whether it's through your research or just through general knowledge. Um, this is a story that is familiar to us. And today we are actually going to start our reading, which is very exciting. So before we start our reading, we're going to go through very quickly some background information. So, our play was written by William Shakespeare, which is this man over here, Mr. William Shakespeare. Switch to my pointer. This guy right here, and it was written in 1595, which means the language is going to be a little bit old. It's going to be a little bit what we call antiquated, which means it's still English, but the words and phrases that are used are not typically how we speak today. So, it is a play, which means there is dialogue, there are characters to keep track of in 5 acts, which basically means 5 parts. And this is a story of two star-crossed lovers, which is a phrase that we're going to see quite a bit. We're going to be talking about quite a bit. That ends in a tragedy. And this is a story that's lasted through the ages. This is a tale as old as time. Two people from opposite sides come together and their love defies all odds. Sometimes it ends good, sometimes it ends bad. But in this case, it ends in tragedy, which means it ends bad. So today, what we're going to be reading is something called the prologue. So, the prologue, the definition of a prologue is a separate introductory section of a literary or musical work. So, it's a small reading or a text that is said before the play begins. So, it's not typically in the play, but it's kind of giving you some background information and to let you know kind of what the play is about. So if any of us are some Star Wars fans or any of us have seen the recent Star Wars movies, that little blurb of text that you read before the movie begins, that is a prologue. So it tells you all about what the story is going to be about, maybe where we left off. But basically, the prologue is any essential information that the author wants you to know before you jump into reading. So, without much further ado, we're going to jump into our reading. So, here is our prologue. So, we see we have original text and we have modern text. So, we're going to go and we're going to start with the original text. So, it says, Enter chorus. So, that's just a group of people entered on stage. Two household, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona, where we lay our scene. From ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. From forth the fatal loins of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, whose misadventured piteous overthrows doth with their death bury their parents' strife. The fearful passage of their death-marked love and the continuance of their parents' rage, which but their children's end not could remove, is now the 2 hours' traffic of our stage. The which, if you with patient ears attend, what here shall miss, our toil shall strive to mend. Okay, see what I mean? Antiquated, old language. I was confused the first couple times I read it, but lucky for you, we have a modern text right next to it that basically tells us it's almost like a translation. We take the original writing and it translates it into words that are more modern and easier to understand. So if we're looking at our modern text over here, we're going to read. So the chorus enters the same way. In the beautiful city of Verona, where our story takes place, a long-standing hatred between two families erupts into new violence, and citizens stain their hands with the blood of their fellow citizens. Two unlucky children of these enemy families become lovers and commit suicide. Their unfortunate deaths put an end to their parents' feud. For the next 2 hours, we will watch the story of their doomed love and their parents' anger, which nothing but their children's death could stop. If you listen to us patiently, we'll make up for everything we've left out in this prologue on stage. All right, that was a reading of our prologue. So what you're going to do now is you are going to go to your assignment. You're going to click on the handout attached to this assignment, and you are going to complete your daily assignment based on today's reading of our prologue. I hope you are all staying at home, resting, and have a great day.